Jazz and welcome to my channel. Guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Jazz. So happy to have you here today. And if you like home DIYs and projects on a budget, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and that you activate your notifications so that way YouTube can notify you every single time that I'm going to be uploading new videos. Guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 amazing projects that you can DIY yourself and that you can use to decorate your home now for fall. And these ideas are very neutral and I love them. You maybe can add pops of colors here and there depending on the colors that you are using to decorate your house this year. Hope that you like and that you enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please give me that big thumbs up. And also guys, something that makes me feel so happy and excited is that me and my husband post a new video on my other channel, Jazomy Home. I'm going to leave you the link in the description box. We DIY something super cool. I'm not gonna tell you anything, just go to that video, and I hope that you like that video. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe over there too. And remember to follow me on all my social media pages, my webpage. We're posting weekly on my webpage, so make sure that you check that. It's jazomy.com. All the links are always in the description box of every single video. So yeah, let's get started with this video, okay?
For this project, I'm going to be using one of these Dollar Tree pumpkins that you can get. It's made out of foam, and I'm going to give it like a really nice look. So I'm going to be using some caulk that you can also get at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be adding these all over my pumpkin. Then you can use a spatula or a spoon to spread all of your caulk on your pumpkin. And you can play with these a little bit and try to create different types of textures or patterns. You need to let your pumpkin dry overnight, and once it is dry, this is how it's going to look. Now you can paint these any color. I decided to use some wax in antique color because this is going to give it a really nice look. It's going to have like a wooden look, and I really love that. So I'm going to be adding this wax all over my pumpkin. The wax is still wet, so because it's wet, I'm going to be adding some plaster color, some chalk paint in this color, just to give it like a lighter tone. You can make these, then let it dry. Maybe you can add some darker colors, maybe like black. You can play with your colors to create shadows and dimensions. But yeah, this is how mine turned out. And on the top of the pumpkin, you can add some moss and also a small stem, and you can stick all of that with hot glue. I decided to add my pumpkin to a stand, and for that I'm going to be using this margarita cup that you can get at Dollar Tree, and I really love the shape of these. You can get this one or the glass one in the kitchen section, and I'm going to be using this one, but I'm going to change the color. Of course, I'm going to be using some black MAC spray paint, and I'm going to spray paint this outside, let it dry, and this is how it looks. Now it's time to add some weight on these to make sure that it's stable, so I'm going to be using some stones for that. You can add your pumpkin on top, and then you can add greenery all over your pumpkin. This is going to add a really nice touch. You can use this greenery that is super neutral, or you can add weeds or any other greenery that you have at home, and you can add some like white touches like this foxtail just to bring more color to our project. Once I was done, this is how this beautiful piece looks like. I love the shape, the colors, how my pumpkin turned out, and how it looks on top of these margarita cup that is now my vase. Let me know in the comments if you have tried this caulking technique on any of your pumpkins this year, and give this project a thumbs up if you like it. For For the next project, you can use any sign that you have at home. I'm going to be using this round one that I get from Target, and I'm going to be adding a pumpkin. And I also did this pumpkin last year, and I'm going to leave you the link of that video on the description box. But basically, I'm just reusing this pumpkin and give it a new look. On the top, close to the stem, I'm going to be adding some small pieces, like small branches that I just have at home, and also some greenery to fulfill that part of the pumpkin and give these a neutral touch. To give it a nice pop of color and texture, I'm going to be using these cottons that you can get right now at Dollar Tree. They're beautiful and really high end, and then you can add maybe more leaves in different colors. And also I'm going to be adding this metal pumpkin leaf on the bottom part. Once I was done, this is how my project turned out. You can hang these on your door or on a wall. It is super easy to DIY. I use things that I have at home, things that I DIY last year, and it has the perfect neutral look. In this next project, I'm going to share with you how I'm going to decorate this case stand for my bathroom. I have this idea of change these a little bit and add more color or texture to my cake stand. So I came up with the idea of adding this paper plate on top of my cake stand, and it completely changed the look of it. Talking about textures, I'm going to be using these glass vase from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add these on the back, and then you can add any greenery or stems that you have and you like. I'm going to be adding these too. Cost less than $1 and you can get them at Walmart. Next, to give some height, I'm going to be using this mini riser from the Target Dollar Spot, and I'm going to be adding this wooden pumpkin, this faux wooden pumpkin from Dollar Tree. At the other side, I'm going to be adding this beautiful neutral pumpkin that you can also get at Dollar Tree, and some white berries. Once I was done, this is how these turned out. I add these to my bathroom and I really love how it looks. I'm decorating my bathroom like super neutral, and I think this is the perfect touch on my vanity. For the next project, I'm going to be using another one of these foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree, and I decided to change the color first. I'm going to be using my chalk paint in hazelnut color, and I'm going to paint my whole pumpkin, and I'm going to give it 2 really good coats of paint, and I'm going to let it dry. Once it is dry, this is how it's going to look. The paint doesn't look perfect, I know, but it's okay. We're going to cover that because I'm going to be using this non-slip rock underlay from Dollar Tree. I love these. I love like the pattern it has and everything. I'm going to cut a square piece, and then I'm going to add my pumpkin on top. And before sticking anything, I'm going to cut a hole into my pumpkin on the top of the pumpkin, and this is going to help me to put all of these like non-slip rock inside of the pumpkin. Is going to make the process so much easier, and also it's going to basically cover the entire hole, so don't worry about that. Once I cover my whole pumpkin, this is how it looks, and I love it. Now it's time to add the stem, and for the stem, I'm going to be using this top part of this pumpkin. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to cover it with some jute to give it like a nice touch and texture to my pumpkin, and also it's going to match really good. I'm going to be sticking that with hot glue on the top of my pumpkin, and then I'm going to create a really cool tip that I just always do. I'm going to be adding a small piece of jute on the tip of my glue gun, and I'm going to turn that, let it sit for a couple seconds. Careful not to burn my fingers, and once I remove that, I have this really nice cool jute cord that I'm going to add on the top of my pumpkin close to the stem. And once I was done, this is how my project turned out. It was so simple to make. I love the texture, and this doesn't look like a $1 pumpkin from Dollar Tree. It looks really high end, and I love it. For this next project, I'm going to be using this beautiful woven tray, and I'm going to add these on the top of my toilet on my bathroom because I'm going to be decorating my bathroom. And I'm also going to be adding like this beautiful house sign that I get from the Target dollar spot, and I'm going to be hanging a wreath on that. Next, I'm going to be adding this candle holder that I DIY, and I'm going to be putting a white pumpkin on top. And on the other side, I'm going to be adding this beads pumpkin that I also DIY, and I'm going to leave you those links in the description box. This is how this part of my bathroom looks like, and I really like it. Hope you like it too. For the next project, you can use any pot that you have from Dollar Tree or anyone that you have. I'm going to be using this one that is from Michael's, and I'm going to add that inside of this wicker planter. Then I'm going to be adding some greenery. You can use maybe weeds or anything depending on the colors that you are using to decorate your home this year. Because I want this super neutral, I'm going to be adding this type of greenery. Then inside I'm going to be adding like some paper or bags or anything that you have to be able to add my pumpkins and make sure that they looks nice and high and that pop out a little bit from all of the greenery. You can add more greenery, more leaves, like different types of colors and textures. And once I was done, this is how my project turned out. I hope that you like it. This is a nice centerpiece for your bathroom, your kitchen table, your kitchen, maybe a room. It looks super cute, and I did it using things that I just have at home. For this project, I'm reusing this frame that I did using these wooden signs that you can get from Dollar Tree. I DIY these last year. I also can leave you the link of that in the description box, but basically I just put these together forming a frame. This time I want to change the color and give it like a really cool look. I'm going to be adding some of these paint that I just mixed, but it's basically like the Waverly Shock paint in a mineral color. Once I paint my whole frame, I'm going to dry that with my heat tool to make the process so much faster. Then I'm going to give these a second coat of paint, but this time I'm going to add texture. For that, I'm going to be using sand, and I'm going to add that sand in my paint, and I'm going to mix these really well. And then I'm going to be painting and giving that second coat to my frame with these paint with sand. This is going to give a really nice texture to my frame, and it's going to look amazing. Next, just to give it like the most cool look, I'm going to be using some pepper, and I'm going to add that on the top of the paint that's still wet. And then I'm going to let it sit until it dries. I did the same thing all over my frame, and then once it is completely dry, with your hands you can try to remove all of that like excess of maybe pepper that your frame has. How cool is this? Let me know in the comments if you have tried this technique before or if it's the first time. Let me know that in the comments. Next, I'm going to be using these fall signs that I DIY last year, and this is a really good project too. You're not gonna believe how I made this fall sign, and if you know, let me know in the comments. But basically, I'm going to be reusing these, and I'm also going to be using some jute twine and some beads. I'm going to be adding 6 beads on my jute, and then I'm going to be sticking the sign with hot glue, then another bead, another letter sign, bead, letter sign, bead, letter sign, and just make sure that on the sides it has 6 beads, or maybe you can add more depending on the frame that you are using. I'm going to be sticking these on the back side of the frame, and then to cover all of that, I'm going to be using some whiteboard from Dollar Tree. You can cut that in the right size and then stick it with hot glue or with staples. Now, I think the perfect touch is to add a pumpkin sign. I also DIY these last year. As you can see, I'm reusing so many things from last year and just give them a new look. So these are just some ideas. I stick the pumpkin on the bottom part and then I just add some greenery to give it a pop of color, but still like very neutral. And this is how my project turned out. You can hang these on your wall and it looks amazing. You can also put these on the top of your mantle, and I think that's a great idea. And I just hope that you like it and that you can get inspired by these. Another idea to decorate your bathroom is that you can use one of these stools that is from Five Below that I love. Is super neutral too, and I'm going to be adding this bucket that I DIY this year. I'm also going to leave you the link in the description box. I'm going to be adding the bucket on top, and then I'm going to cover the whole bucket with greenery. You can use different types of greeneries, and it is super cool because I use most of these greenery on the summer. Now I'm adding all of them in the bathroom, but giving this a neutral fall look. And for that extra touch for fall, I'm going to be adding 2 green pumpkins on top. And this is how this idea turned out. It's super easy. It's going to look amazing on any space, and I just hope that you can get inspired, guys. I love to make these DIYs. I love to share these ideas and these videos with you guys, so please let me know if you like them, giving me a super big thumbs up. And in the comments, I love to read your comments, so let me know which of these ideas and projects is one of your favorites. All of these ideas are very neutral, but I also decorate my house using like the traditional colors. So let me know if you want to see like a full home tour. I'm going to be posting that super soon on my other channel, Jazomy Home. So you can check the links in the description box to subscribe to my other channel, Jazomy Home. We also post new videos, so make sure that you also hit the notifications to get notified every single time that I'm going to be uploading new videos. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and remember to follow me on all my social media pages. So many behind the scenes, beautiful pictures and fun content, so you can also follow me there. Hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and love you so much, and see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye guys.